First up, our first sophomore tonight, we'd like to honor is forward number 30, Josiah Baskin, West Guilford High School, hometown West Guilford, and his family. Next up for our sophomores, he plays guard, he wears number 3, Daria Cabrera and family. High school, modern day prep, hometown, Middletown, New Jersey. Next up for our sophomores on sophomore day, he plays guard and forward, number 14, Rockford Jr. and family, Union High School and hometown, Union, New Jersey. Sophomore that we are honoring tonight, he plays forward and center, number 25, Tim Jambala and family from Jackson High School and hometown, Jackson, New Jersey. Next up for our sophomores, he plays forward, he wears number 5, Niles Halliburton and family from Madeline High School, hometown, Madeline, New Jersey. Next up for our sophomores, he plays guard, he wears number 11, Kevin Mateo. Next up, our sophomores on C, sophomore night. He plays guard and forward. Number 2, Devin Sterling with family. South Brunswick High School, hometown, South Brunswick, New Jersey. Next up on sophomore day, sophomore guard, number 4, Andre Wills with family. At Regional High School, hometown, Meadowlark, New Jersey. Please put your hands together one more time for our sophomores and their families. There'll be a 5-minute warm-up time at this time.
And we welcome you inside the Robert J. Collins Arena in Lakecroft, New Jersey for the final edition of Region 19 men's regular season college basketball here on Brookdale TV. Tonight's matchup featuring the Mercer County Vikings and Monmouth County's own Brookdale Jersey Blues, along with my broadcast partner and my good friend, Brian Goudsward. I'm Dominic Sama. So, Brian, Brookdale is coming off a hard-fought win against Passaic that saw the Jersey Blues trailing at the intermission, which has been a rarity this season. They moved to their final game of the season tonight, looking to finish on a high note with well over half of their team in the final competition at home here in Collins Arena. What will they need to do to continue their success in tonight's game against a Division II opponent like Mercer and be ready for postseason matchups against teams like Northampton, Montgomery, or Rowan Gloucester?
Yeah, I was here for that game on Tuesday against Passaic, and you mentioned it was a hard-fought game. It didn't come easy for Brookdale. Final score not indicative, because as you mentioned, they trailed by 3 at halftime, and it wasn't until the late stages of the second half that they really caught fire, and it all kind of happened so fast that they turned that game into a runaway. But for Brookdale, the approach is always the same. We know the way they play. They like to get turnovers, get out in transition, and show off their high-flying explosiveness. That was on full display in that second half. They had 3 or 4 dunks in the game, igniting the crowd. If that happens here tonight, they're going to be in good shape because there's a big crowd on hand to see it. Of course, all the players and their families, the sophomores honored before the game. Should be another great matchup here to close out this regular season.
Yeah, Brookdale currently ranked now at number 5 nationally in Division III junior college men's hoops, right behind division rival Northampton, who is currently standing at 25-2, 18-1. Brookdale standing at 23-3 and 17-3 in league play. Our starting lineups today for the Jersey Blues: Andre Wells, Niles Halliburton, Kevin Mateo, Nick Williams, and Darnell Askew, so nothing different in that lineup. Mercer County has Johnny Blago, Isaiah Johnson, Jake Manuel, Aisha McLean, and Jason Mark. Our officials tonight are Dana Gardner, Jerome Hubbard, and Teray Dock. So we'll get set here in Collins Arena in Lincroft, New Jersey, in beautiful Monmouth County, New Jersey, down the Jersey Shore. Just a 40-minute drive between these two colleges, Mercer and West Windsor, as they control the opening tip. Jason Mark, the center for the team, taking the point, gives it over to Gianni Blago. Aisha McLean over to Jake Manuel. He'll go inside, blocked away cleanly by Askew. Great rotation by the Vikings. Blago misses the first shot of the day.
And this Mercer team very competitive, although they've been going in the wrong direction of late on a 4-game losing streak.
Now it's Halliburton, the baby jumper, no good. Nick Williams securing the offensive rebound, but called for steps. Yeah, Mercer County, like you said, they're currently 11-14 overall, so near 500. So it's going to be a close competition, I believe, for the Jersey Blues as Jake Manuel fires a 3 off the mark. Rebound secured by Halliburton. Kevin Mateo with the point, gives it over to Halliburton. And Mateo with a 3-ball, banks it home.
There's the first for Mateo. He's been doing a lot of that. Of course, the only thing that slowed Mateo down this year was that hamstring injury, cost him 8 games on the sideline, but he's gotten it going since.
Isaiah Johnson, the response from straight away. Andre Wells with the point, takes it over the logo, calling a play, gives over to Mateo, the leading scorer. An NBA range 3 goes off the top of the backboard, results in the ball being out of bounds. Mercer County's led by someone who has a long background in basketball and has a towering appearance in Howard Levy in his 15th season. Former protege under Pete Carrill, the former head coach of Princeton, and Phil Jackson, someone we all know if we're a basketball fan.
Yeah, that's pretty good company. Don't often see coaches at this level associated with such big names, but for Howard Levy, he's learned from the best.
Christian Smith, newly checked into the game for the Vikings, inbounds it. Gets it back. Here's Mark. Posts up against Askew. Puts it up. What a turnaround, Jay.
Jason Mark on the mark there with the nice move in the post, little spin, and the finish.
Nick Williams, a corner 3 balls. Strong. Mateo trying to secure the rebound, but Mercer gets it. That's Christian Smith, the Hamilton native. Isaiah Johnson, the leading scorer from Philadelphia, kicks it to Marks. Marks looking to swing it over, gives it to Blanco. Had the shot, fakes it out. Mark from straight away, no good. Rebound by Halliburton.
Brookdale will be content to allow Mercer to settle for long 3s.
Mateo straight away 3, no good. Rebound by Halliburton, and here is Darnell Askew, the easy 2 from Halliburton with the assist.
Yeah, great find by Halliburton, and Askew, who does such a nice job right around the basket, finishing in close quarters.
Mark securing that loose ball. Gives it to Johnson, long 3 ball, nothing but net.
Oh, I said that Brookdale is content letting them shoot 3s, but you got to make sure you get a hand in the face and make it difficult on their shooters.
Niles Halliburton physical to the rim. Jason Mark at the top of the key. Gives it over to Blanco, the Robbinsville native. Christian Smith kicks it to McLean. Aisha McLean, the corner 3, rattles it home.
Yeah, they've got the 3-pointer working now. They've hit a few of them, so Brookdale, like the last game where they started slow, see Mercer get out to the early advantage.
Aisha McLean inches up on Williams. He'll still take the 3, and picked away was Halliburton, so Mercer has a possession. Aisha McLean had the steal. Blanco gives it to Mark, and Mark normally now takes it up to the top of the key, puts it up, no good. Foul's going to be on Darnell Askew.
The foul is
So Jason Mark will head to the line for 2. He averages 63% from the free throw line. The Broward City native makes the first. He'll go for the second here. Mercer with an early 12-7 lead as Mark misses the second, splits the pair. Mateo with the possession gives it to Wells. Mateo back with the ball, defended by Blanco. And Williams taking it all the way to the rim, tries to dunk it, but is called for the foul. That's Jason Mark.
Yeah, Nick Williams, who just has such an athletic ability about him, and as good as he is at shooting, he's at his most dangerous when he's attacking the basket, as he did there, creating free throw opportunities.
Williams making the first. Williams averages 70% from the charity stripe, so he'll try and go 2 for 2 from the line. Gets the roll. Mercer looking to push it. They have Christian Smith now. Mark picked away by Wells. Here's a fast break. They have numbers. Andre Wells all the way to the rim. Gets the lucky roll for the layup.
Quick hands by Wells getting the steal, and then didn't make it look easy on the layup, but got the roll just enough.
Christian Smith over to Jason Mark. Over to McLean. Back to Mark. Great rotation by the Vikings as Mark looks to post up against Askew and is strong on the shot. And Wells picked away. That's Isaiah Johnson, the leading scorer. He'll pull up with a jumper and knock it down. Johnson averages 18.8 points per game. Is a native out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Unfortunately for that city, didn't make out well with the Super Bowl as Niles Halliburton gets the baby jumper. Johnson running the point. He's leading the way early. Like I said, great rotation by the Vikings. Slicing through this stifling Brookdale defense. Up early, 14-13. Step back 3 by Isaiah Johnson.
Boy, that possession was defended well all the way through. It's just better offense by Johnson after they had nothing going, and he makes basically a desperation 3.
Here's Askew over to Mateo. You give him an inch, he'll take a mile. Here's Askew going inside, is stripped away. There's gonna be a held ball. Possession stays with the Jersey Blues. Mercer, in their last game, lost to Raritan Valley College at home, only 70-67, so it was a close competition, much like this is right now, just 2 days ago. Here's Nick Williams going inside, putting it up and in.
A strong move by Williams, and Brookdale does such a good job executing those out-of-bounds plays. Usually put points on the board quickly.
This is Jake Manuel from downtown, is way short. Halliburton with another rebound. Here's Wells. Askew secures a possession. Pass deflected and ends up in the hands of Isham McLean. McLean takes it over the logo, kicks it to Manuel. Manuel over to Smith. Here's Johnson, Manuel. Brookdale in a 3-2, 2-3 zone. It's a 2-3 zone as Johnson again from straight away.
Wells was out there to contest it, but came a shade late, and once again the Vikings worked the shot clock all the way down and get a 3.
Halliburton off on the 3 ball. That would have been a long 2. Josiah basket on deck for the Jersey Blues in the next dead ball. Johnny Blanco over to Smith. Blanco over to Manuel. This is Smith. Blanco, Johnson, he's open again. You bet. Isaiah Johnson slicing and dicing from downtown in favor of Mercer as they lead by 8, 23-15. Brookdale in an unseasonably downstate 8-point trail against the Mercer County Vikings. We'll take a step back and be back with 12 minutes and 23 more seconds left in this first half of basketball here on Brookdale TV. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Robert J. Collins Arena here in beautiful Monmouth County, New Jersey, on the Jersey Shore. Jersey Blues in a rare state here in Brookdale, down 8, 23-15, Mercer County on top. Kevin Mateo picked away from behind by Isaiah Johnson. Here's Nick Williams from NBA range, and he rattles it home.
Yeah, long three for Williams, and he along with Mateo. There's no limit to their range. They will shoot well clear of the arc.
Aisha McLean over to Manuel. He's at the top of your screen. Gives it over to Smith, and now Blanco. Here's McLean in the paint. Blanco with the possession. The Robbinsville native going inside, almost blocked away, and I think was tipped over or tipped away by Askew. Mateo looking to pull up, looking for an open shot. Here's Strickland, newly checked in for the Jersey Blues. Nick Williams again.
Yeah, Williams starting to find a rhythm. He's got the inside-outside game working. Previously, the long three. There he gets a touchdown low, makes it count.
This is McLean from downtown, and he connects.
Paul Chizek is very frustrated on the bench because far too many open looks. They are letting the Vikings have their way from three.
Nick Williams, the baseline step back J.
Williams almost single-handedly keeping Brookdale in the game so far.
Here's Christian Smith over to Johnny Blanco. McLean at the top. And Manuel, another look from downtown. And Mercer County dominating from the perimeter. So we'll keep it here. 29-22, Mercer County on top of the Brookdale Jersey Blues. So Brian, what do you think is Brookdale's biggest problem so far in the start of this matchup?
They're not defending the three, and Mercer is living on the outside. A few times they've let the shot clock work all the way down, but their ball movement has been precise. They look like a team that is in a higher league than Brookdale. You know, sometimes when you go against the Division II schools, it really isn't all that much of a difference, and Brookdale's been able to handle them in the past. But this Mercer team, you can tell they look like Division II and look like a strong team, even though they have an under 500 record. They've come out with their A game tonight.
Yeah, speaking of A game, talk about Isaiah Johnson. He's been dominating from beyond the arc. So Brookdale will take back the possession. 29-22 down against Mercer as Kevin Mateo has an open look. He'll take it and make it.
Three-pointers just continue to rain from all angles, both sides. For Brookdale, they've been able to hit a few of them. That's Mateo's second.
Kevin Mateo and Darnell Askew combined for 50 of the made 88 points in their last showing against Passaic. Both Mateo and Askew had 25 apiece. Josiah Baskett will go for it. No good. Rebound by Johnson. He's defended by Williams, and now he gets rid of Williams. Heads back down the court. Here's Johnson over to newly checked in Anthony Rhodes. He's called for steps. Check that. That's going to be an illegal screen on Isaiah Johnson.
And you can't talk about three-point shooting without bringing up Josiah Baskett, who's in the game and in his comfortable role coming off the bench. They tried him in the starting lineup a couple of times, but I think he works his best coming off the bench.
Kevin Mateo along two, rattles it home. Check that, that's gonna be a 3-ball, so Brookdale down now by 1. And Jason Mark called for travel.
Jersey Blues possession.
A pretty cleanly played half so far. Not a whole lot of whistles, only 3 combined fouls. And both teams executing well on the offensive end, particularly shooting the basketball.
Mateo over to Askew, and he'll jam it home.
Well, Askew had the highlight of the game in the win against Passaic. The game may have been out of reach, but he was a high flyer on a one-handed flush, much like that one.
And speaking of a way to take back the lead for Brookdale, Johnson over to Rhodes, and there's his first 2 points of the game, taking back the lead for Mercer. Nick Williams defended closely by McLean, and he'll put it up and lay it in.
That's just a great all-around individual effort for Williams to take to the basket.
Anthony Rhodes hailing out of Trenton, New Jersey. Now McLean over to Blanco. He'll take it inside, kicks it to Rhodes. Great defense by the Jersey Blues as it ends up in Josiah Basket, blocking it away and securing the possession. Devin Strickland going inside, putting it up with all the contact.
Yeah, Rhodes got all ball there. Otherwise, that could have been an and one for Strickland.
Jason Mark over to Rhodes. That was almost an open look. McLean defended by Williams. It looks like a man-to-man defense initiated by the Jersey Blues. Aisha McLean over to Anthony Rhodes, and looks like Anthony Rhodes zigged when he should have zagged.
And you can sense the momentum changing here. Brookdale's gotten a 3-point lead. They've gotten a couple of turnovers, and sensing that Mercer needs to talk things over.
Yeah, and talk about a showing from the crowd. A lot of noise coming from this Brookdale crowd. So we will take a step back. Be right back with you for 7 more minutes of basketball here on Brookdale TV in this first half. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Linecroft here in Collins Arena. 7.5 more minutes to go in the first half of play. Timmy Jombala, newly checked in for the Jersey Blues, the Brooklyn native, hailing out of the country of Montenegro. In for Brookdale is Kevin Mateo, a long 3-ball, no good. Jombala secures the offensive rebound. Basket gives it back over to Jombala, kicks it to Mateo. Had an open look, will take it inside. Strickland with the baby jumper is short, and Halliburton with the offensive rebound. Strickland strong on the shot. Jason Mark takes it over the logo against Timmy Jombala, and he's called for another travel.
Yeah, Jombala was there to make sure Martin couldn't go anywhere, and he shuffled the feet on his way to the basket.
Mateo over to Jombala. Mateo going all the way inside, lost the possession. Goes over to Halliburton, and now Strickland. Jombala, the jumper, in and out. McLean, the rebound.
Well, that's Jombala's sweet spot. He made a few of those in the last game. Couldn't get that one, but Brookdale will take that shot.
Yeah, almost got a double-double in that game as Jake Manuel over to Jason Mark. Aisha McLean thought about a shot. He'll take it inside, explodes to the rim, no good. Jump ball, rebound, secured by Basket. And here is Strickland over to Basket. Tough defense inside as Mateo gives it to Jombala. He'll take it all the way and lay it in.
Nice job by Jombala taking that pass foul line area, going up strong for 2.
Aisha McLean from downtown. Short rebound by Halliburton. And here's Halliburton. Thought about the shot, gives it to Jombala. Strickland takes it baseline, looks to put it up with all the contact. Jason Mark defended by Jombala. Here's Isaiah Johnson, picked away by Mateo. And look at this 2-on-none. Devin Strickland laying it in.
I think his teammates wanted to see him go up high for a dunk there, but he settles for the lefty layup, maybe letting his teammates down, but they'll take the 2 points.
See all the hype coming from 32-year head coach Paul Chizek, the winningest head coach in Brookdale history, eclipsing 600 wins earlier this season. Brookdale now holding a 9-point lead all of a sudden against Mercer. So a 10-0 run by the Jersey Blues in the past few minutes. Aisha McLean looking to go 2 for 2 from the free throw line here. As there was a foul going up, foul was called on Halliburton. We have a couple of substitutions. Christian Smith, hailing from Hamilton, checking back in for Mercer. Gianni Blanco on deck for Mercer. And the next dead ball once Aisha McLean is able to check out. Kevin Mateo with the handle, defended by Johnson. Now he's defended by Mark. Josiah basket over to Jombala. Hands it to Mateo. That's an NBA range 3. Strong. Halliburton, the rebound, count it, and a foul.
Well, that's just a great job by Halliburton. Is that long attempt from Mateo off to the side. Halliburton was right there and got the little nudge from behind to give him a chance at a 3-point play.
12 unanswered points by the Jersey Blues. Looking to be 13 if Halliburton makes this free throw to go. He's the best free throw shooter on average for this basketball team. 89% from the line. So he'll take this free throw and stick it through. Isaiah Johnson averaging 18.8 points per game, leads scoring for the Mercer County Vikings. As Christian Smith swings it to Johnson. Mateo called for a reach-in. Andre Wells checking back in for the Jersey Blues. Brian, what do you see seems to be the biggest catalyst to Brookdale having these 13 unanswered points?
They settled in on the defensive side, not seeing Mercer make the threes at the level that they were earlier, and Brookdale's gotten a lot of that, turnovers, getting out in transition.
And look at Ron Flood, who's newly checked in for the Jersey Blues.
Yeah, I mean, this game, they started slow, but lately they've turned on the Jets. It wasn't long ago that you were remarking about Mercer looking like a Division II school, and then suddenly Brookdale decided to play like one of the best teams in the country again.
Andre Wells securing the possession. Halliburton will take it from downtown and connect. 18 unanswered points for the Jersey Blues. 48-31 over the Mercer County Vikings, as we'll take a step back here with 3:31 to go in the first half of play. Brookdale really opening this lead up all of a sudden against this tough Mercer County team. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. And we are back here in Collins Arena. Christian Smith, the 3-ball, no good. Andre Wells with the possession. Here's Ron Flood. Nick Williams at the corner at the bottom of your screen. Andre Wells with the possession. You see the tempo from both of these head coaches on both sides. Howard Levy, the former protege of Phil Jackson. Niles Halliburton laying it in for the Jersey Blues. He's really taken over now for Brookdale.
I was just going to say, he's really played well, starting with that 3-point play on the putback. Then he made a long jumper, and there the nice reverse finish.
20 unanswered points for the Brookdale Jersey Blues as Gianni Blanco counted and a foul. And that stops the bleeding from Mercer.
Yeah, well, they needed that in the worst way. I mean, Brookdale has just been pulling away in this game. Mercer unable to buy a basket, and still time here in this first half for them to close strong, and they're going to need it if they have any hope of getting back in this game.
Blanco makes the free throw to go. He averages 57% from the charity stripe. Andre Wells defended by fellow number 4, Isaiah Johnson. Niles Halliburton over to Joan Bala. He called for a reach, and it's going to be number 4, Isaiah Johnson. Quick shout out to the public address announcer for Brookdale in his first year with the Jersey Blues, Rob Halsey. As we continue the game here, Andre Wells kicking it to Halliburton. He'll pull up with a free throw jumper and no good. Jombala, the recovery. Isaiah Johnson over to McLean. Aisha McLean hands it to Blanco. He'll look to swing it to Manuel. Manuel to McLean, fires away, no good, in and out. Williams the rebound, and here's Flood. He'll pull up for 3. And strong, Halliburton the recovery.
Yeah, Halliburton again, crashing the offensive glass, outworking every Viking down near the basket, and he's been able to put up a lot of points that way.
And Blanco zigged when he should have zagged. Here's Wells putting it up and in.
Boy, the Jersey Blues are just flying to the ball. I mean, they are getting after every loose ball and turning it into transition points. This has been a display the latter 10 minutes of this first half.
Since Brookdale took back the lead 32-31 earlier in this game, Brookdale has scored 26 compared to Mercer's 3 to finish this first half of play. We're already 1 minute away. This is McLean putting it up against Jombala, no good. Wells with the rebound. And he'll slow down and make a play call for Paul Chizek. And Wells kicking it to Ron Flood for 3, no good, and a rebound by Blanco. Blanco taking it all the way himself, putting it up and tied up. It's going to be a held ball. Possession remaining with the Jersey Blue. Check that. That's going to be with Mercer. So here's McLean putting it up with a lot of contact by Jombala. Brookdale all of a sudden with a 20-point lead. 2 seconds difference between shot clock and game clock. Andre Wells letting the clock run. We're at 10 seconds left on the shot clock. 5 seconds, 4. Flood kicking it to Williams, fakes 2 different defenders out. Shot's no good, and Jombala won't get the shot off. And you talk about a finish to the first half of play, Brian Gouts. We're at 56-36, Brookdale over the Mercer County Vikings. We thought Mercer was about to run away with it, but we will take a step back here before the second half of play. Cheerleaders, sophomore ceremony happening now.
for graduation. They stopped my graduation ceremony. Well, I had hella fun on my graduation. They stopped my graduation. It was like, okay, stop. And then we good.
Next up are sophomores. We'd like to honor Rebecca, our left. Brookdale High School, our left academy. Hometown, Farmingdale. Our next sophomore that we're honoring here at halftime for cheer and dance. Next, Emily Bobish with family. High school, Monroe Township High School, hometown, Monroe Township. Up for our sophomores on sophomore night. We'd like to honor for cheer and dance Joey Bauman and family. High school, Brookdale High School. Hometown, Brookdale, New Jersey. Again, put your hands together one more time for the sophomores on sophomore day and night and their families. Thank you, sophomores.
Welcome back to Robert J. Collins Arena here in Lincroft, New Jersey. Beautiful Monmouth County down the Jersey Shore. The Brookdale Jersey Blues leading this matchup 56-36 over the Mercer County Vikings. As I'm Dominic Sama, I have Brian Goudsword here with me to bring you this live stream along with the Brookdale TV crew, of course, here on BTV in the final regular season game in Region 19 Hoops. As Nick Williams looks to take it inside, goes by the left hand, no good. Jason Mark with the rebound.
Yeah, and I think Mark got a piece of that shot as well, the blocked shot.
This is Gianni Blanco over to Mark. Blanco back with the possession, takes it inside. Here's Jake Manuel. And McLean will take it from straight away and get the roll.
Yeah, that's what you call a shooter's bounce. You don't typically see that kind of a bounce on long jumpers, but it worked that time.
So the loose ball is taken by Montclair, or check it out, Mercer.
Not my alma mater. Red Hawks.
Right? And so it's a little bit of a gaffe, but you know what? We both have our connections to Montclair, right? As Mark with the rebound. We talk about Montclair. Brian is an alumnus, while I am actually looking to get in there right now. So that's a little bit of a small world, a little bit of the same connection to a similar college. But the good thing is both colleges start with an M, so I know that this one is Mercer. But anyways, Jake Manuel got fouled by Nick Williams. So Nick Williams got his first foul of the second half of play. First foul for Brookdale, so Manuel will make the first. Manuel averages 74% from the charity stripe, so he'll look to go 2 for 2 in this sequence. So Mercer County now trimming this Brookdale lead from 20 down to 16. Brookdale finished with a 26-3 run to finish the first half of play as Nick Williams with a double clutch layup.
Williams again with that athleticism going to the basket, and he's had a strong game tonight.
It's a kicked ball, so Mercer County will remain with the possession. Brookdale currently ranked at number 5 nationally in Division III men's hoops. As Mark lobs it over to Isaiah Johnson, the leading scorer, pulls up with a jumper, actually passes it over to Isham McLean. Mid-air pass that Isham McLean with a quick layup from Johnson.
A nice little give and go there. And you mentioned the ranking for Brookdale at number 5. Of course, they've spent a good part of this season in the top spot, really only forced to give up a few spots because of a couple games they had to forfeit. If not for that, this team might still be number 1.
And the past 2 years, these group of sophomores went through a lot, especially with no season in 2020, and then last year, 2021, they came out of nowhere. Everybody thinking that they were in a rebuilding process, but don't tell Paul Chizek that. As Nick Williams went for the jumper, no good. He's blocked from behind, so he'll head to the line for 2. But going back to Paul Chizek, don't tell Paul Chizek that you're ever in a regrouping process, because Brookdale really has done a fantastic job. This coaching staff that consists of John Rivera, Ron Pastore, Charlie Hawthorne, Kurt Fenchel. They have all done a fantastic job recruiting players, bringing them in, and getting them used to the Chizek ways, so to speak.
And that's the thing, is not just having the experience that Paul Chizek brings, but all his assistants have been around for a long time, so it's created a very stable environment and allowed this period of sustained success.
And you mentioned the assistants having been here for a while. John Rivera, in his last home game of the season, one of the assistant coaches, he is set to depart the coaching staff as an assistant coach, as Andre Wells just getting the unlucky roll with the layup. Niles Halliburton looking to put it up, blocked and fouled, so he will head to the line for a couple. Unfortunate that John Rivera will be leaving the Brookdale coaching staff after this season. We wish him nothing but the very best. Paul Chizek, in his 32nd year as head coach of the Jersey Blues, led this formerly young group last year to the Region 19 Tournament Championship. The tournament consisted of defeating Atlantic Cape at home in the first round, and then continuing on to Montgomery, who was ranked number 1 in the nation at that point, and upsetting them away in Montgomery as Darnell Askew. You gotta be kidding me. Talk about an exclamation point.
Wow, that's 2 of them tonight, and 3 in his last 2 games. Askew is a high flyer.
Isham McLean blocked by Nick Williams. One would argue that was a clean block by Williams and not a real foul.
Yeah, certainly looked like he got all ball. I think he certainly felt that way, but they whistle him for the foul, his second.
Yeah, Brookdale defeated Atlantic Cape at home in the first round, upset Montgomery away in the second, and didn't have as good of a showing against the Community College of Philadelphia down in Philly for the championship. So Brookdale looking to change things as Isaiah Johnson recovering and laying it in. Kevin Mateo with the possession, defended by Johnson himself. Williams over to Mateo. Mateo looking to go inside, gives it to Halliburton. And you talk about an assist from Mateo.
Yeah, Halliburton's kind of had an up and down season, but when he's going well, he can be one of the better offensive contributors on this team.
Isaiah Johnson, the pull-up J's in and out. Halliburton dominating the stat sheet as far as rebounding. And almost an alley-oop by Askew.
That would have got everybody out of their seat.
Mateo going off the screen from Askew, pulling up with a jumper, no good. And here's Askew, the recovery.
Askew, he ate his Wheaties this morning. I mean, he has come out with a lot of energy tonight, couple of big dunks, nearly had a third.
Not to mention that, but he's only a freshman. So he has a very bright future with this Brookdale squad, hailing from Staten Island, New York. Nick Williams, the trigger, no good. McLean with the rebound, and here is Mark with the possession. Takes over the logo, defended by Askew. And here is Blanco, no good on the layup. Here's Mateo, you give him an inch, he'll take a mile, and he will, all the way to the bucket.
Made it look easy there, just to glide to the basket and held that ball in his right hand, finished with that hand.
Jake Manuel willing his way to the tin. And a timeout will be called by Howard Levy. Talk it over with his brain trust, down 70-47. Brookdale really opening this lead up. And we will be right back with 14 minutes to go. And we welcome you back to Robert J. Collins Arena here in Lincroft, New Jersey. Dominic Sama, Brian Goudsward here with you, along with the Brookdale TV crew, to bring you this live stream coverage of Brookdale basketball here, of course, on BTV. Brian, I want to hear your thoughts on what's been the big catalyst to Brookdale continuing to fire on all cylinders in this second half of play.
I think it's really just continues to be a team effort. Strickland can't get that to go, but Askew does, and he's been leading the way. But you've got Halliburton chipping in. You had Jombala in the first half. Nick Williams doing his usual thing. Kevin Mateo. So it really is just up and down, a team all-around effort.
So Mercer County set to inbound. That is number 15, Christian Smith with it. Now Mark with the possession. Jason Mark hands it over. And the possession going back to the Jersey Blues after a bad pass from number 4, Isaiah Johnson. Timmy Jombala checking back in for the Jersey Blues.
Having a word there with Kevin Mateo before this possession gets in full swing.
Pass deflected from Halliburton. As Mercer takes it back, Isaiah Johnson looking to go inside, gives it over to Manuel, puts it up, no good. Jombala the rebound. Here's Mateo. Mateo splitting through the defense, going up, putting it up, no good. Rebound secured by Anthony Rhodes. Isaiah Johnson kicking it over. Jake Manuel called for a travel.
And you remember earlier in this game when Mercer had the three-pointer working, it seemed like they couldn't miss. They made about 5 in a row, but that part of their game has just disappeared, and hence their offense just not nearly as effective since.
Josiah Basket checked in for the Jersey Blues, and he'll take it in Manuel's face, and there's a 3-ball, and that's Basket's first points of the game.
Yeah, and you know Basket's always going to get in on the act, especially from 3.
Mark no good on the board. And he recovers and gets the bucket and the foul. So he will head to the line for 1. The foul's called on Timmy Jombala. So far, a great showing by the Jersey Blues. I mean, in the early going, it was something else. Mercer with an 8-point lead. I remember it was 23-15, and then all of a sudden Brookdale just started storming back. And much like last game against Passaic, in the early going they didn't do well, and then all of a sudden they opened up the lead towards the end. As Niles Halliburton drains a 3-ball.
Yeah, they just have the ability to turn on the proverbial switch, and when they do, it's lights out, no pun intended.
Johnson short on the 3-ball, and quarterback pass from Mateo to Strickland, and it's a touchdown pass as Strickland converts.
Yeah, that was beautifully done. Strickland very much making like a wide receiver, able to control that and get the 2.
And Strickland called for a reach-in foul. Strickland is incredulous with that call. So Anthony Rhodes set to inbound for Mercer. Got to give kudos to Mercer providing this competition with the Jersey Blues, but that just being a bad pass by Jason Mark.
Yeah, it's kind of fallen apart here for the Vikings after the strong start to this game, but once Brookdale started taking away the 3, they just have not had other ways to beat the Jersey Blues.
Kareem Irby newly checked in for the Jersey Blues as Halliburton thought about a shot, gives it to Irby. Jombala over to Halliburton. Thinking about a shot, gives it to Strickland. He'll post up, put it up with a lot of contact. So he'll head to the line for 2.
And Strickland kind of undersized for the position that he plays, but he's tough down near the basket, shoots at a high percentage, finds his way down in that painted area a lot.
So Strickland will make the first. He averages 51%, 52%, check that, from the charity stripe. Native out of Dayton, New Jersey, makes the second. Here's Mark over to Anthony Rhodes. Rhodes to Blanco. McLean looks to swing it back over. And he's defended closely by Williams. Here's Mark defended by Jombala. Crosses up Jombala, puts it up, lays it in.
Now that was big man on big man there, and advantage Mark despite the contest from Jombala.
Irby defended by Isaiah Johnson. And he'll look to go inside and put it up and in. And a timeout called by Paul Chizek right after that basket. So they will count the basket. And with 10:43 to go, We welcome you back to Robert Collins Arena here in Monmouth County on the Jersey Shore. Brookdale Jersey Blues, Monmouth County's own Brookdale Jersey Blues on top 84-51 over the Mercer County Vikings with just over 10 minutes left to go. Dominic Sama, Brian Goudsward here with you along with the Brookdale TV crew to bring you this live stream only here on BTV. Anthony Rhodes going inside, kicking it over to Gianni Blanco. Blanco kicking it over to Isham McLean. McLean with the baby jumper off the back iron, kicks it back over. Isaiah Johnson fakes it and deflected by Irby. Possession will stay with the men in green. As Anthony Mark gets the inbound from Blanco. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Mark will look to go inside on Jombala, kicks it to Rhodes. 2 seconds, one, he'll put it up. Good if it goes, no good. Rebound by Nick Williams. And here is Nick Williams jamming it home.
Hang on the rim to boot there for Nick Williams, but this game is really all Brookdale. The lead at this point, 35, and past the halfway point, second half.
And count the basket and the foul for Isaiah Johnson. So he will head to the line for one shot. Leads the team in free throw percentage, 75% from the free throw line. As he misses it, and Brookdale set to take the possession. And the possession going to Brookdale. Paul Chizek incredulous with that call.
It appeared the initial indication was Brookdale ball. They said white. The announcement came Brookdale ball. I'm not sure why the change of heart.
Vikings will take possession.
Halliburton set to check back in for the Jersey Blues. Isaiah Johnson pulling up with the jumper. Elbow jumper's good.
Number 4, Isaiah Johnson of FC.
And Josiah basket from downtown.
Speaking of unlimited range, Josiah Basket provides that probably better than any of the Jersey Blues.
And here's Blanco with nothing but traffic going inside for the lay-in. Here's Nick Williams pulling up with a three ball. Knock it down.
I mean, just everything going down for Brookdale. They have a chance maybe for their highest scoring output of the season with 92 already and plenty of time to add to it.
And McLean the response from downtown. Here's Kareem Irby, and picked away almost by Isaiah Johnson. Jombala ends up with the ball. Nick Williams pulls up with another three ball, in and out. And here's Strickland with the recovery.
And Strickland would not be denied. He missed the initial putback, but stays with it, and good things happen when you stay with the play.
Isaiah Johnson fakes it, puts it up, and in. And that quiets the crowd, at least for now. Brookdale still continuing with a 32-point lead.
Yeah, nice to see a big crowd on hand here to watch this one in the season finale. A lot of energy in the building.
Williams over to basket, thought about a three. Gives it to Strickland, and he'll pull up with a three ball. That's an unseasonal attempt.
Yeah.
Gianni Blanco looking to storm inside. keeps his footing, gives it to Mark. Johnson at the corner, top of your screen, no good. Johnson gets his own rebound and gets the basket. 94-64, the current score right now here from Lincroft, New Jersey, as Kareem Irby loses the possession. And the play will continue. Irby over to basket for three, knocks it down again.
Yeah, well, we have an expression here, basket finds the basket, and
yeah, you just read my mind. Yeah, you just read my mind, Brian. Basket, making a three-point basket, so.
I mean, really, you can't have a better name for a basketball player.
You really can't, and that's no pun intended. Josiah Basket making that three ball to go, and they're nearing 100. I believe that'd be for the first time, not for the first time this season, but for the first time in a while. I have to correct myself. It was just about 9 days ago that they last scored over 100 in the triple digits, which was at Bergen. 116-91 was that final score. And they're 3 points away here. Basket with the possession. Looking to go inside, puts it up, lays it in, and there's a two-point basket.
Yeah, and he's done all his damage in the second half. I don't think he scored at all.
He did not.
Half. Yeah.
Yeah, he gained eligibility in January as Devin Strickland looks to lay it in, and fast break is good. So now we're officially at single digits for the Jersey Blues. This will be the fourth time this season that Brookdale eclipses triple digits. As Jason Mark gives it over to McLean, Isham McLean, defended by Luis Robledo. He's newly checked in. Jason Mark missing the shot to go. Rhodes missing it, Robledo the rebound. And Halliburton trips over on his own feet. And a loose ball taken by Anthony Rhodes. Ron Flood is newly checked in for the Jersey Blues. Aisha McLean over to Mark. Back to McLean. 101-66 the score. Gianni Blanco over to McLean. Kicks it back to Blanco, and he'll take the three ball and in and out. Halliburton with another rebound. I'm pretty sure he's in a double-double right now, as Kareem Irby trying to make the basket is no good, but he'll go for two at the line.
Yeah, even Irby in the game, he provides a spark of energy when he's in, so this has just been a game where everyone has gotten in and made some sort of positive contribution.
So Irby will make the first. Averages 77% from the free throw line, as you have number 22, Jaden Cabrera, checking in for the Jersey Blues, the brother of Darian Cabrera, who remains on the bench, as well as Brookdale's leading scorer last year, Frez Cabrera, who is actually in attendance tonight for his brother.
Two brothers.
And the ball's picked away by Ron Flood from Isaiah Johnson. Brian Gausward, what do you think happened to the Mercer County Vikings as of late?
Well, it's been a while now since we've seen them play competitively. It was right off the bat where it looked like this game would be competitive, and it wasn't, that it would be in Mercer's advantage. I mean, they were clicking on the offensive end early on, drilling three after three, but it just has all fallen apart and turned into, I mean, I didn't see this coming, for this to be one of the more lopsided Brookdale wins of the season. You go against a Division II opponent, even though they're under 500, you expect it's going to be a stiffer challenge. Earlier on it was, but Brookdale's proven no problem.
Flood over to Darian Cabrera. He'll go for the three and knock it down. So Isaiah Johnson over to McLean Blanco. We're at the 4-minute mark of this game. Brookdale with all their reserves into the matchup. Flood, Cabrera, Robledo, and Basket remains in.
Well, it's certainly a good way to go into the Region 19 tournament. In all likelihood, they'll have the bye the first round and then get ready for their matchup in a venue to be determined. But going out with a game like this, honor your sophomores before the game, and then turn in a 100-plus point game, 40-plus point victory potentially. It's going out on top for sure.
And the only team they're right behind as far as national rankings and league play is Northampton, who is a very familiar foe. And this is on both the women's and men's side. A very familiar arch rival. And they have not played them this year, I must say. Robledo gets picked away. And here comes Aisha McLean on the fast break, takes it and blocked by Flood, but Rhodes with the rebound. Luis Robledo for three, no good. So the foul is going to be on number 3, Gianni Blanco.
Third personal foul. Team 6.
Darian Cabrera inbounds to Basket. And here's the older Cabrera, deflected by Aisha McLean. Here's Darian Cabrera. Almost lost his dribble. Flood over to Jaden Cabrera. Here's Flood. Kicks it over to Darian Cabrera, and the shot won't count.
It's about the only thing that's gone wrong for Brookdale. I mean, it seems like they've had quality possession after quality possession. A rare miscue, not that it matters much at all.
105-68, the current score between the Jersey Blues and the Vikings. As Jason Mark goes over to Jake Manuel for three. That's short. They'll go out of bounds. Brookdale possession. Top 5 teams in Region 19 men's hoops as far as Division 3 is Northampton at number 1, Brookdale at number 2, Montgomery at 3, storming through as of late, and Rowan Gloucester at 4. You also have Union at 5, in which Brookdale actually walloped Union at home most recently. So Mercer back with the possession. Last 2 minutes of this matchup. Darian Cabrera taking it up for the Jersey Blues. Trying to make some moves. Step back 3 off the back iron. And here's Aisha McLean putting it up. No good. Foul called on Josiah Basket. So Brookdale with a good head on its shoulders going into the postseason coming up.
Yeah, they've only had one true loss on the season. I mentioned the 2 by forfeit, and the other loss was to Atlantic Cape in a game that they lost by 2 points. So, I mean, this is a team that has been dominant again under Paul Chizek, and the run of dominance just continues.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I'm looking at the roster now, and you have a few freshmen coming back, which includes Nick Williams. And Nick Williams has been really leading the way lately for the Jersey Blues, just totally dominating games and a big helping hand in helping this Jersey Blues squad get to where it is today, up by nearly 40 points. They're up by 34 to be exact, as Ron Flood picks away Jason Marks, and he will try and duck it home, but no good. Luis Robledo goes over to basket. Back to Robledo for three, and he'll knock it down. Nothing but net. So we are in the final 75 seconds of this matchup, the final 75 seconds of the regular season, as Michael Anderson, the newly checked in Viking, makes the basket to go. 108-71, Brookdale on top. And the final minute, shout out to Rob Halsey, once again, the public address announcer for the Jersey Blues. Ron Flood missing the three ball. Aisha McLean putting it up, no good.
Under 1 minute remaining in the game, under 1 minute.
And the possession going back to Mercer. But once again, looking at this Jersey Blue roster, you have Luis Robledo coming back. He's a freshman now. He's from Jersey City. Nick Williams coming back, a Patterson native. Kareem Irby, the Hillside native. Jaden Cabrera and Darnell Askew. That's already a huge lineup to start. But I'm looking forward to seeing Paul Chizek bringing in more new recruitments, as Jaden Cabrera laid that one in. We're in the final 20 seconds of this matchup. 110-71 currently between Brookdale and Mercer. What an incredible win for the Jersey Blues. We're in the final 5 seconds. Jake Manuel, the three ball in and out, and that is your final score. 110-71, Brookdale on top and winning over the Mercer County Vikings. So Brian Goudsword, your final thoughts as the most experienced announcer in Brookdale.
Well, they complete another fantastic regular season here. Another great season doing the games. It's always a lot of fun. Thanks, of course, to our entire crew all season long who does a great job. And for Brookdale on the court, just another season where they continue to play their game. And I wouldn't doubt this team one bit going into the Region 19 tournament. Have to be considered the favorites to take the region and get a spot in the national tournament. And it'll be fun to follow them and see how far they can go, because there is an awful lot of talent on this team. We know that they're brilliantly coached. They've got so many weapons, and they can go far. Again, we've seen them win 2 national championships in the last decade. Try to make it a third this go-round.
So with that, we'll close it up here in Collins Arena. Brian Goudsword, my broadcast partner, along with yours truly, Dominic Sama, saying so long from Lincroft, New Jersey, in beautiful Monmouth County. Brookdale finishing strong, both the women's and men's teams, in a great defeat over UConn Avery Point on the women's side. So we hope to see you next time here on Brookdale TV. Thanks for watching tonight